Welcome to the Funeral Funds Life Insurance Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Vandervate from Funeral Funds of America, and you can find us at funeralfunds.com. That's funeral, Funds.com. Whether you're interested in term life, whole life, annuities, disability, business continuation, or final expense life insurance funding, we have you covered. Our team of experienced professionals will guide you through the complexities of insurance products to help you make an informed decision. Keep in mind, we can help you with any life insurance needs, but specifically, we are terrific at final expense life insurance, since that's what we're going to be talking about today. I am going to be talking about the 5 advantages and benefits of burial insurance, and then I'm going to cover one that's not a benefit, one that you should truly stay away from. So, just in case you didn't know, burial insurance is also known as funeral insurance or final expense insurance, or some people call it cremation insurance. It's called whole life insurance. It's called funeral funds. It's called a whole bunch of different things. But in the end, it's all built around smaller cash value whole life insurance policies. And what that means is whole life insurance means that it will last your whole life. Very descriptive, right? It will last your whole life. It is not like term insurance where you're going to buy a term insurance policy for 10 years or 15 years or 20 or maybe even 30 years. Okay? And then it will cancel. Term life insurance will cancel at that point. And it's not like a lot of those companies out there where they say, "Hey, you can start your policy for $1 a month." And that's term insurance, because in that second month, they'll raise you up to the normal premium. And then those policies have what's called 5-year banded coverage, which means every 5 years, your price will go up. Typically on a birthday where you turn, the last number of your birthday is a 1 or a 6. So for example, age 51 or 56. So we don't recommend those either, because generally they get so expensive that people have to cancel them, or you outgrow the policy. You get beyond age 80 and the policy cancels, and it's been nothing but profit to the insurance company. So we don't recommend that. Universal life out there, boy, it's a misunderstood product out there. There's a lot of universal life policies that were issued in the 80s and 90s that are burning up. And what I mean that is they're just self-imploding because interest rates got so low that there's not enough cash value in those policies to actually keep them running. And so many universal life policies are blowing up exactly when people need that insurance the most, when they're in their 70s or 80s. So be very careful. Sometimes an agent will approach you about that and say, "We can get you a lower premium." You just got to be smart about it. But for the most part, the best investment is going to be a whole life insurance policy for a smaller amount of coverage. What that's going to do, it's going to lock in your pricing. It's going to lock in your coverage. It's going to allow you to have a policy that lasts all the way up until age 121 years old. It does build up cash value. We don't get too excited about the cash value. It's not like ever going to be enough to take a Caribbean cruise or anything like that. We really think of the cash value is if you set it up right. If you had like change bank accounts or something like that, it could borrow against the cash value in the policy to make the premium payment and keep your policy in force. Now, we always recommend paying that back, but it's a really nice safety net for many different insurance shoppers and insurance owners. And then also keep in mind that the premiums are flexible. You can get as much or as little as you want, typically within reason. And you can always add more coverage later. And in many cases, anybody can be the beneficiary. That's kind of depends on the insurance company. Some have stricter requirements on who can be the beneficiary. And many insurance companies will allow somebody else to be the payer. Typically, there's something that you have to have what's called insurable interest, meaning you're related, or you would have some sort of financial impact if that person died. So there's lots of different options out there, but let's dive into the top 5 things that I wanted to talk about, kind of what final expense insurance actually provides. So many of the times that we're helping people over the phone, what people say is, I just want that peace of mind, right? They don't want their loved ones to have to, at the most difficult time of their life when they've lost a loved one, to have to come up with this money on their own. Because what typically happens is it's a surprise, and people don't have that kind of money laying around, $10,000. So they end up putting it on a credit card, and they end up paying like possibly 26% interest. And they're just going to be chained down to this debt for years and years and years to come. But that's why this insurance works so well. Because what we specialize in at Funeral Funds of America is first day coverage, which means that if your policy goes on, if it goes in force on the first of the month and you die on the second of the month, the insurance company will have to write that check, even though your policy's only been in force one day. So it's not a 2-year waiting period plan. We're going to talk about that in a moment. We don't recommend those 2-year waiting period plans. The second thing I want to talk about is that they have no medical exam required. Now, a lot of people think, oh, no medical exam. They're just going to trust me. I can have cancer and get this insurance and get first aid coverage. Oh, on contraire, that is not the case. No medical exam required, which means you don't have to go to the doctor. There's no doctor visits or anything like that. First aid coverage policies, all of them will ask health questions because they don't want somebody coming in that has cancer that's 2 weeks away from dying and buying a $10,000 policy and making one premium payment. They would go out of business in literally months. They won't do that. They will ask health questions, and you should actually be excited about that. The reason is you're going to get the lowest rates. And we work with so many different insurance companies that we can typically get people first aid coverage or benefits. In fact, right around 90 to 95% of the people that we help are going to be able to qualify for first aid coverage or benefits. And that's exactly what you want. You want that protection right away. And with most of the insurance companies we work with, we can get you a same day approval over the phone. You don't have to put any money down, can actually get that policy approved. And typically, we just can have this start on your next payday. And we can use the same pay date that you get paid by Social Security and tie it to that checking or savings account. And that way you never have to worry about the money being there. And you'll never have to worry about your policy lapsing. That's a terrific way to handle it. The third option I'd like to talk about is customizable coverage because everybody has different needs. Some people want to be cremated. Some people want to be buried. Some people may need their body transported out of state. Some people may want something simple. Some people may want something a little bit more extravagant. Some people may just want their final expense needs covered. Some people may want to add additional coverage to provide to their family members or children. You can do all of that. And you can do all of that in one policy. Or if you wanted, you could break it up into two. So maybe you had a $15,000 burial policy, and then you wanted a separate $15,000 or $20,000 policy to provide money for your children, just to help them out. You can do that. It's totally customizable. Now, the fourth thing I'm going to talk about is tax-free benefits. And what that means is you would not be charged when this insurance pays out. Nobody has to pay income tax on it. And the reason is because when you pay for this insurance, you've already paid taxes, and this is coming out of your normal everyday spending money that's already been taxed. Since you're spending, since you're paying your premiums with already taxed money, all the benefits are paid out tax-free. So if you have a $10,000 policy, it's going to pay out $10,000, and your beneficiaries aren't going to have to pay any taxes at all on it. So that's terrific. Now, the fifth item is there's flexible payment options. Most people, I will tell you, most people just prefer to pay monthly. It just coincides with when they get paid. It keeps the premium low. And then that way they don't have to worry about a bigger payment later. because you can split this up however you want on your policy. You can pay monthly, quarterly, every 6 months, and even every 12 months. The challenge is when you look at those longer payment terms, it gets to be a bigger payment. And if you kind of forget about that during the year, and then you have to pay that one big premium, you may not have it. And then if you can't pay that, your policy would lapse. So you don't want to do that. Really, the best way, and the way we recommend, is just splitting it up and just paying it on a monthly basis. That's the best way to make sure that it fits in your budget. You just get used to paying it. You've got that money allocated and you never have to worry about it. So that's 5 really terrific benefits of final expense insurance, which of course can be burial, cremation, life insurance, or funeral funds. Now, the one last thing I want to talk about that you really should avoid is those plans with 2-year waiting periods. Now, you see them all the time out there. They're advertised on TV, right? Colonial Penn, you may not know this. Their $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period plan. And, they're expensive. We've got a whole series of videos on YouTube comparing just about every age and just about every coverage amount. And in so many cases, Colonial Penn comes out right around, plus or minus, but right around 200% higher than first day coverage. So we always encourage you to get first day coverage. Really, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage is if you had some really significant health issues going on, like maybe you just waited too long and you'd been diagnosed with a terminal illness and you had less than 12 months to live. Maybe you had dementia, maybe you had dialysis, maybe you were in a hospital or in a nursing home, right? Significant stuff like that. And the different insurance companies will react differently and approve differently based on how long ago something happened. There's so many health conditions that are accepted by the insurance companies we work with. We can typically work around most things to get you first day coverage or benefits. Really, the trick is to get this insurance before you need it. Don't put it off. None of us knows when we're going to die. This insurance actually before you need it. You'll never get lower rates than you will right now. As you get older, it will just get more expensive. So the time is always right now. That's the best time to get this insurance. And that way you can provide that peace of mind for your loved ones and have a policy that you never have to worry about, and have a policy that has locked in pricing so that it will always be affordable. So visit us at funeralfunds.com, funeral, Funds, funeralfunds.com. And we've got free quoters on virtually every page of our website. We have just an exhaustive supply of articles covering just about everything that you would need to know so that you can be the most educated buyer possible. If you need any help, just reach out to us. Again, funeralfunds.com. Our phone number is 888-862-9456. We will be blessed to help you with this in the future. Until that day comes, stay safe, take care, have a nice day. Bye-bye.